Well, good morning, Lighthouse. It's my privilege to be able to share a devotion with you this morning. And I want to just share with you from my experience and our family's experience of having caught Corona. And basically, we in the last couple of days of it, I think it's day 10 for me or day 11. And, when just after I'd been diagnosed with, tested positive for COVID, and I'd actually had a particularly bad day, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. Kimberly, my daughter, asked me a question, and she said, "Dad, are you scared, Dad? Are you fearful? Are you worried?" And I said to her with integrity, I said, "Hey, Kim, honestly, I need you to know, I'm not scared. I'm not fearful." And I said to her, "Kim, what's the worst possible thing that can happen to me?" And I said to her, "Kim, I can die." And I said, "Kim, if I die, I've got absolutely 100% certainty of where I'm going and where I will be. And so I have absolute no fear of dying." And then I said, now you might listen to it and think, "Yeah, Bruce, but that's all good and well for you because you'll be in heaven. But isn't that a bit selfish? I mean, what about the people that you leave behind? What about your children, Myra? What about the church?" And of course, I've thought about that, and I said to her, "Kim, if I were to die, I want you to know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Just like when my father died when I was 17, the Lord had an incredible plan and a purpose for my life, for the life of our family, my brothers, my mother, our family businesses, and God had prepared us for that, and every step of the way of our lives, God had shepherded us and been with us our whole lives." And I said to her, "Kim, I know this, that if I were to die, it was because it was the best part of God's plans and purposes, not just for my life, but for your life, for this life as a family, and even for Lighthouse, and that God would make a way in that." There's a wonderful Psalm 139, and it says, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came into being." Verse 17 says, "How precious about me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand on the seashore." I mean, this is beautiful. My friend, every single day ordained for my life and for your life is already recorded in God's book before one of them has come into being. And that God's thoughts about me and you are precious, and He thinks about us often and lots. And so we can rest secure in God because He has got the destinies of our lives, and not just our lives, but our families' lives, of our businesses, and of our church firmly in the palm of His hands. In Psalm 62, David says this, verse 1, "My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, and I will never be shaken." In verse 5 it says, "Find rest, O my soul, in God alone, for my hope comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, and I will not be shaken. My salvation and my honor depend on my God, for He is my mighty rock, and He is my refuge. Trust in Him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God, He is our refuge." And so, Lighthouse, I trust that helps you. I trust that encourages you. Now, what I'm not saying is that we mustn't be careful at this time. And I'm also not saying, and I also want to encourage us, one of the things that I took away from just contracting COVID and getting sick is we need to be careful. And, I played golf with Ian Gibson on the Friday before I tested positive. And Ian is a diabetic. And I didn't wear a mask in the car with him. And after the game, we shook hands. And I thought to myself, if I had to have it over, I wouldn't put Ian at risk like that, especially with the diabetes that he has and the risk that he's at. And so, Lighthouse, be wise at this time. Don't take it for granted. Social distance, and make sure that you protect other people and take responsibility for yourself so that you don't unwittingly transmit this onto someone else. But at the same time, don't live in fear. God is your rock. He has got your back. He has written and ordained every single one of the days of your lives before it has got to come. And He will protect you from being sick. If you do get sick like we have, He will be with you in the sickness. And the worst thing that could happen is that you could lose your life. And if you did, that would have been ordained by God. And He will do right by you, by your family, and by the rest of the church. So I trust this encourages you. And I trust it helps you just to rest at this time and to place your hope and confidence in God. Have a great day, Lighthouse. Ciao.